Hi everyone, it's Tina Payne. In this video, we are going to talk about the difference between starting your scrubs line versus starting a scrubs resale business. So I think it's a good time for me to do just a little clarification on the difference because I get a lot of people who inbox me or ask me or say they want to start a scrubs line. How can I help them or am I able to help them? And so my mind automatically goes to, well, I don't help people create scrubs lines. I help them create a scrubs business. And so I think I would like to go ahead and get that clarified. So if you're watching this for the first time or watching me for the first time, let me just quickly introduce myself. Again, my name is Tina M. Payne. I am the owner of Tina M. Payne Consulting, where I help coach women who are wanting a transformation in their lives and are looking to get businesses started, to start their business and leave a legacy for their family. And that is what my primary goal is. I am also the owner of Grace Health Scrubs, where I have my own online and mobile uniform store, and I am able to sell to people all over the country as well as hospitals and facilities. And I'm mobile, and that's something that I really enjoy, which is how I got started with my coaching. And so I also offer a Scrubs Shop Academy class that I help people get started in, and that's self-paced. But I'll talk about that in another video. So let's get started about this topic: scrubs line versus a scrubs business or resale business. And so what I have is a scrubs resale business, and let me just explain what that means. So, what I have is that I operate a business and I have accounts with manufacturers who provide me with the actual merchandise that people want. So, an example would be Med Couture, that is a national um, chain or national brand of uniforms and scrubs. They provide their retailers directly with their merchandise. And so when you are getting accounts, you're going to get the merchandise from the manufacturer directly, which is what I recommend. And so I get it from them. I purchase it at a very discounted wholesale rate, and then I resell it to my customers for a profit. That is what I do. That is it. That is what I teach. And so, in order to have a scrubs business or any business, if you're buying wholesale, you just have to make sure that there is demand for that item, that people want it, and that also, it is going to make sense for you to carry it in the long run as far as profit goes. So that is what a resale business essentially is, and that's what I am an expert in. Now, what is a scrubs line, or if you want to start a scrubs line business or scrubs business with your scrubs line? What does that mean? Okay, so that means you're saying to me that you want to create your own line of scrubs, right? So you want to get your own line, manufactured. You want to be able to determine the sizing, the fabric. You're going to choose that yourself. You are going to source that from wherever, some type of fashion or apparel company that makes clothing, or you're going to hire a designer or someone to create those designs for you and sew them for you. And it's going to be a branded item that belongs to you, meaning you have the trademark over that particular um, type of scrubs. Okay. So if that is what you want to do, if you want to have your own scrubs line and you want to have Tina scrubs, for example, and they are stretchy, they are, have 50% spandex, and then they have lycra and they have cotton, whatever the breakdown is that people really want, then that's going to be your line that you have to do a lot of work. And first of all, you got to do a lot of work getting it started, with getting the fabric, getting someone to make the designs and make sure that they can create it exactly how you want it. Then you should trademark the name that is going to go on your brand, so that you actually own it. because if it turns out to be a multi-million dollar company or whatever brand, you want to make sure you own the rights to everything in regards to your brand. So that is definitely necessary. You also, if you are creating your own scrubs line from scratch, you want to make sure you're researching the current brands, because then they are going to be your direct competition. They're going to be your competition no matter what, because you are in a business where the manufacturers, they compete every year to see who's going to have the best jogger, or who's going to have the best V-neck top with stretch on the side. They're in constant competition. So there's no way of getting around that type of competition in this industry. You are signing up to be a part of an industry if you want to be successful. So you have to do that research. Find out, who has the top brands, who has the top collections in the industry. Why are they so successful? What is it that people like about those brands? Now, if you are someone, you're like, I want to do a whole completely different line, nobody's ever seen before, you want to validate your idea, validate your designs, and make sure it's something that the general public is going to want, because you don't want to find yourself in a place where you have all these designs and these beautiful items that you've created, that a lot of people probably love, but if it's not a mass appeal, it doesn't appeal to the masses, you're going to be limited in sales. And so you want to make sure that you're taking surveys, you are understanding what the public wants. Now, if the public is not your target, then that's something totally different. But I would not think that you would intentionally go into a business to not want to get, a large audience to purchase your merchandise, because that would not be necessarily all the way a good, business strategy. And so when I think of successful lines that are pretty new to the industry within the last 10 years, there's three that comes to mind, and one is Figs. Figs is, pretty new, but they have a certain demographic, but they are still appealing to a lot of people. They are definitely a higher price point, and so that automatically cuts out some of their target. But they have a awesome campaign where they are partnered and they help people overseas. And so if you're going to come out with a brand that nobody has ever heard of, you're definitely going to have to come out strong with, some collaborations or some, people who can help build your brand with you. Even if you tie yourself to an organization that does some nonprofit work that is important to you already, that would be something that you can do as well. But just know it's not going to be overnight. It's not something that is going to happen in a month. You know what I mean? You have to do a lot of work, a lot of research. And so if that is your passion beyond passions, and that's something that you want to do, I encourage you to do it. But you have to give yourself self time, set some goals, and make sure that you are getting the correct information from people. That is not something that I coach in, because that's not my expertise. And so I wouldn't tell you to, not do it. I would just let you know that it is going to take time. Sometimes it takes a couple years for people to launch a brand new line. I'm not really interested in just buying scrubs with no names on them from overseas and then just slapping my name on it. That's not what I consider a scrubs line. I'm thinking you're going to design from top to bottom something brand new for this industry and come out strong. That would be my hope. So I would look at benchmarking other companies that have done it before. Figs would be one. And if you're not familiar with them, take a look at their story. They had some early investors who put in a lot of money to help them. I know Figs had Will Smith as one of their investors early on, so that kind of gives you an idea of the type of money that these companies are starting out with. You know what I mean? Janu, another great company with awesome branding and marketing. That would be another company that I would look to for benchmarking and kind of to see what their story is, how they got started. And there's another one, I'm trying to remember, I think it's called Benefit Medical, started by some veterans in the healthcare. And so they have a huge social media following, brand ambassadors, and things like that. And so those are probably, if I were starting my own line, that's kind of where I would start with benchmarking and really learning as much as possible. Um, you know, as much as possible about how to start my own scrubs line and really want to make it to the point where it could have a huge following and mass appeal. People do like different things, but you also have to make sure you're covering a lot of the basics when it comes to scrubs. And you want to stand out. And so you are the reason that it's going to be different because you are your own story, you are unique. So that is really all I wanted to kind of cover in this video was really the difference between starting a scrubs resale business, which is what I do, versus an entire scrubs line from scratch with your own branding. Okay, so if you have any additional questions or if you want to get in contact with me, I will leave that information in the description. But I encourage you to continue on your journey, doing your research and reaching out to those who've done it before to help you out. Okay, so if you like this video and want to follow me on YouTube, please click the bell so that you are notified of all new videos. Okay. And if you have a topic or a question, leave that in the comments and I will answer. All right. Thank you guys.